going on, guys? I'm doing a review of this here product. Of course, it is a drop safe, and I actually already own a safe. I have this little fire safe that fits under our bed. Nothing really important in there, just keeping some documents safe. And then I have a much larger safe, even bigger than this one, that is kind of hard to get into, and frankly, I don't like doing it if I'm just dropping off like, oh, I want to keep this $50 bill safe or something. Like, it's just not worth it. And so I wanted something that I could have to just easily drop off cash and then periodically move it into the bigger safe. And so this came up on Amazon. I thought that it would be a pretty good solution to that, and it's got a whole bunch of cool features. So I'm going to take you through them one by one. Stick around. I wanted to mention just how big this thing is. So it's 2.3 cubic feet on the inside, which is pretty huge. Most folks are probably going to have a little fire safe, something like this, that fits under their bed. This is pretty substantial, so maybe more of an under-desk safe or in a closet or something. But yeah, there's a lot of space in there, which is great because whatever you're depositing, it's a safety deposit box kind of thing. You want it to fall down where they can't access it, but they have some clever features on how to prevent that sort of phishing anyways. But we'll probably start off with that. So there's this nice little handle, and there's clearly quite a heavy weight in there, and you might be able to see it. There are these like pincer things that would probably prevent anyone from sticking a fishing line in there and pulling something out. You'd have to take a lot of time to do something like that, but I'm not too worried about that happening. The business end of this is this little keypad here, and you of course can punch in your custom pin, and that can be anywhere between I think 4 and 8 characters or numbers. It looks like there's a fingerprint reader, but this particular model does not have it. Let's say your batteries do die in here. There's this nice little backup key slot, and I'll show you the keys right now. The bidding on these is pretty good. I can't imagine someone is going to be able to pick that. I certainly don't have any lock picks that would be able to do that, but maybe you're a locksmith and you're able to do that, but I can't. And what's behind here is certainly not going to be worth the time of someone who's a master locksmith. It's pretty robust. The door in the front is incredibly heavy. I have it be easier to film, but I'll give you a shot of just how thick that door is. So I'm going to type in my password. Alright, so I typed it in, I press start, and I heard a little click. And that means I'm good to open it. I'll just get the green light. So if you don't enter that right, and you'll see this nice little LED back here illuminating the inside for you. If you don't get the password right the first time, it actually blinks a yellow beep, and it's pretty audible. It's very loud, and apparently if you don't enter it after a few tries, an alarm sounds off and a lockout happens. So that's a nice feature too if this is in public and you really don't want somebody snooping around. Once we've got it open, you can see, ooh, this is heavy. Definitely the heaviest part of the whole thing. That is solid metal, at least in this part here. This obviously is, the internal components for these big bolts here that secure the door to the frame, but this front is just thick steel. So if you're going to attack this, you're probably definitely going to go for the sidewall, not the front. You're definitely not going to pry this open for sure. On the top here, we have the battery compartment and the setting key. That's how you configure your different pins to get into the safe. And once you have it open, you probably will find this really useful instruction sheet that I'd normally probably just throw away, but this was actually really handy. It covers all the different ways to get into the safe. They've certainly built in redundancies on that because you don't want to have to be ripping this thing open in case your batteries die and you lose your keys and all sorts of bad things happen. So just opening up the accessories out of my accessory bag that was included in there, and I'm trying to do this one hand, but I guess I don't really need to. I can just kind of show you like this. So you'll see these anchor bolts in the back, and how those work is they go through the rear into, let's say, your wall, whether it be masonry or wood or whatever, and then you bolt them in and they expand so you can't carry the safe away. Really nice to have. And then there's this little unit in here, and this is used for, in case your batteries die, and let's say you don't have the keys but you know your PIN code, you just pop some AA's in here. You can then plug this into the auxiliary power of the safe to power it on, essentially circumventing those dead batteries. Punch in your PIN code, get in, and swap out the batteries with fresh ones. So yeah, and what else more is there to say? There's a felt bottom, really nice. It stays in place, and it's quite thick, so when you're dropping things in, it's not going to make a whole bunch of noise, because let's face it, it is a huge safe, and it does fall all the way down. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with it so far. I can't wait to start using it in my daily life, because, man, I certainly do not like having to do a dial just to throw in a couple $100. So yeah, I'll update this review in the future if I find anything else, but pretty satisfied, pretty happy to have something like this in my house. It's just another sense of security to add to my life. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.